Hey, what's up, everybody? Coming to you this morning with another What's Next. This is going to be on the newly crowned WBA interim welterweight champion of the world, Jamal James. Jamal James came in not out of nowhere. Jamal James has been a fighter that's pretty much been a prospect the last couple of years, and a guy that a lot of people are avoiding. They don't really want to get in line to face him because he's kind of a tall, lengthy, good boxer at welterweight, and he does pack a little bit of a punch too. He lost to Yordenis Ugas a few years back, by a unanimous decision, and has been plugging along and undefeated ever since then. He definitely shook things up 2 to 3 years back when he took on Diego Chavez, a hard-hitting guy that took on Keith Thurman years back and actually gave him hell. It was a really good fight with Thurman. And Jamal James, I think he stopped Chavez in only 2 rounds, if I'm correct on that. And that was a pretty impressive win. So, he's been trying, though, to get a bigger fight. And it finally came on August 8th, and the main event on PBC Fox, he took on Thomas Delorme, former world title challenger. Delorme, last couple of years, he was a top 10 guy. I had him in top 10. I had him tied for 10th in the number 1 division in boxing. And the reason for that was a couple years ago, he fought to a draw with Jesse Vargas, who's a very legitimate, solid, former 2-division world champion. That was a big time because Vargas was still very relevant, as he is now. But, he was even more relevant in the welterweight division a couple years ago in 2018. And Delorme scored a knockdown in the final round that led to a draw with Vargas in a fight that nobody was picking him to win in. And then Delorme followed that up last year against Tyrell Williams, an undefeated prospect, came in the underdog, and he was able to pretty much shut down Williams and scored a clean 10-round decision in that one. So, there was people coming in. I picked Jamal James to win the fight, but I, like a lot of people, weren't going to be surprised if Delorme pulled it off because, Delorme is a very solid and established veteran. So, and Jamal James, just impressive. The biggest win of his career, he absolutely outboxed and outclassed, and, pretty much was a one-sided decision. It was, Delorme fought hard. He landed some punches. You saw the experience there, and he was able to get a couple things done, But Jamal James just weathered anything and never let Delorme really in the fight to take over, and Jamal James pretty much ate him up. It was a clean 12-round, one-sided, unanimous decision, and Jamal James, again, scored the biggest win of his career and is now the WBA interim welterweight champion. So now the question is, what's next for Jamal James? Well, for me, it's pretty simple. I think he's going to be facing... I'm sorry, guys, drawing a blank here. I'm pretty sure Jamal James is going to be squaring off against the winner of Yordenis Ugas and Abel Ramos for the vacant WBA regular title, which is taking place on September 5th. Excuse me. I believe that's going to be Ugas, and I see Jamal James and Yordenis Ugas going at it again. And what's funny is they fought a few years ago, I think 2015 or 16, and the best thing is they're both better fighters now. Ugas, ever since that win, made a name for himself, has become, has put himself right in line for something. Last year, he came out and fought Sean Porter for the WBC title, lost a split decision, but a controversial split decision in a fight that a lot of people thought he won. Then he followed that up on the Pacquiao-Thurman undercard and took on undefeated Omar Figueroa Jr. and absolutely whipped Omar's ass. He did. Whipped him over 12 rounds, wasn't close, dominated him, beat him up, one-sided 12-round unanimous decision, and the biggest win of his career. Now Ugas gets a chance to, capture his first world title, albeit a secondary world title, as he fights for the WBA regular belt. But Ugas is an avoided fighter. So to have his next fight pretty much sewn up for him, and a rematch against Jamal James, another guy who's kind of an avoided fighter, this is good for both guys. And that's what I think Jamal James is going to be doing next. I don't think they're going to throw him in against anybody else unless somebody requests that. I think the WBA will order that fight, especially with both of them being with the PBC. and we're going to be seeing a pretty solid rematch to look forward to, and to basically set up for the future. I mean, the winner's probably going to, get, a big opportunity maybe late next year, and pushing forward. So we'll see. But that's it. That's the what's next on Jamal James, who is now securely in the top 10 at welterweight, the best division in boxing, and he is now the WBA interim world champion in that weight class. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.